My child, do not ignore this. Archangel Michael stands at your door with a message that will shake your soul. In this exact moment heaven has peeled back a layer of time to reach you, because something urgent must be heard now, not later. Delaying even a heartbeat could cause you to miss a revelation crafted specifically for your spirit. This is not for everyone, this is only for you. God says the wind has been carrying quiet warnings around your life, and you have felt them even if you didn't understand. Strange chills, sudden moments of silence, the sense that someone you love is slowly slipping away. My beloved one, heaven does not speak without reason. Tonight the veil is lifted, someone you never imagined losing is preparing to step out of your story. Their soul has already begun turning toward another path. But do not tremble, child, for what feels like loss is actually divine redirection. God says, I write this message with fire not to frighten you but to protect what I am building inside you. My precious soul, Archangel Michael says, you are not abandoned, you are chosen. The ache in your heart is not punishment, it is prophecy. Something is shifting beneath the surface. This person's departure is not random, it is the unseen hand of destiny clearing the ground for what heaven has planned for you. God says, pause here. What comes next may shake you, but it will also set you free. My child, listen with the deepest part of your spirit. The one who leaves opens the way for another to enter. An ending you never asked for becomes the door to blessings you never expected. Do not rush this moment, your future is being spoken now. Your tears, they have never fallen unnoticed. Heaven counted every one, and though you feel weak, strength is being planted in you like a seed that will bloom when you need it most. My beloved, Archangel Michael says, look closely. The signs have already been appearing. Unexpected dreams, repeated numbers, familiar names showing up without explanation, moments that felt too strange to be coincidence. These were not accidents. These were gentle warnings wrapped in everyday moments. God says, if this word stirs your soul, make sure you stay connected so you don't miss the next sign. I am speaking through patterns, clues, and confirmations. My dear one, heaven says this is urgent. Do not scroll away, do not tune out. The departure of this person carries both sorrow and hidden blessing. Their absence creates the sacred space needed for something divine to take root. What looks like tragedy is actually transformation in disguise. God says, child, do not cling to what I am removing. If you hold too tightly to what is leaving, your hands will be too full to receive what I am sending. I never take without giving something greater. My love, Archangel Michael whispers, you feel abandoned but heaven is shielding you. The one leaving carried a truth in their heart they never spoke aloud. Their exit will reveal what their presence hid. But do not fear revelation, for God never exposes without healing. My child, the heavens lean close to you tonight. This is not an ordinary moment. This is a divine interruption. A voice louder than thunder yet gentle as your breath whispers, be alert. The person walking away is closing a chapter that cannot continue. But their departure marks the beginning of something only heaven could orchestrate. God says, do not fear, what leaves does not define your eternity. I am the one who decides what stays and what goes. My dear one, Archangel Michael speaks again. Your heart is heavy, but the angels are not blind. As this person's shadow fades from your life, heaven's light moves closer. Where they step out, angels step in. Where they close a door, God opens another. My beloved soul, listen deeper. Nothing leaves your life by accident. Pain is not the end, it is the soil of tomorrow's miracle. Every heartbreak carries a seed the enemy cannot steal. God says stop here. What you hear next will shift everything. The person leaving cannot walk into the next chapter with you, because they would delay the promise written for your future. Archangel Michael declares, lift your eyes, your destiny is not behind you. Do not drown in sorrow, do not cling to what is fading. Heaven has already prepared a replacement, a blessing, an alignment that will make sense only when you step forward. God says listen carefully. Do not skip this. Their departure may be final, but my presence with you is eternal. My blessing cannot be stolen. My promise cannot be broken. Though they walk away, I will walk you into miracles beyond imagination. Heaven whispers, feel the urgency. The fact you're reading this in this exact moment is proof this message was carved for your spirit alone. Someone close to you has been wrestling in silence. You've sensed the distance, you felt the shift. Tonight heaven confirms it, they are leaving forever. But heaven also promises you will not be left empty-handed. God says wait. I am not finished. What comes after this heartbreak will astonish you. Mourning will turn to dancing. Sorrow will turn to joy. Ashes will turn into beauty. Everything the enemy tried to take will be restored double. Archangel Michael urges you, stand tall. Do not collapse. This moment is the test that launches you into breakthrough. Heaven is preparing unexpected encounters, divine connections, sudden opportunities, doors that open without warning. My child, your story does not end with someone walking away. The ending is simply the turning of a page heaven has been waiting for you to turn. My beloved child, for in the void they leave behind, miracles will be planted. And heaven now leans in even closer to make sure you understand the magnitude of what is unfolding around you. This moment is bigger than emotion. Bigger than heartbreak. Bigger than anything you have felt in months. You are standing inside a divine crossroads, where one chapter is being sealed, and another is cracking open like dawn after a long night. The tremble in your soul is not fear, it is recognition that destiny is shifting beneath your feet. My precious one, heaven says do not misread this departure. What feels like loss in the natural realm is victory in the spiritual. You are not being abandoned, you are being repositioned. The person leaving had reached the limit of the role they were meant to play in your life. Their presence belonged to an old season. And heaven is not allowing your new season to be contaminated by their unresolved shadows. God says when I remove, it is mercy. When I close a door, it is protection. My dear one, this message is not meant to break your heart. It is meant to break your attachment to what can no longer walk with you. You prayed for peace, and heaven listened. You prayed for clarity, and heaven is revealing. You prayed for purpose, and heaven is delivering. The removal you fear is the answer you asked for, disguised in a way your flesh did not expect. My beloved soul, Archangel Michael steps forward with a presence so intense it feels like the air around you thickens with divine electricity. He says, do not lower your head, lift it. This is not defeat, this is promotion. The leaving is not a collapse, it is a clearing. You have been held back by emotional weight you did not realize was draining your strength. Heaven is cutting cords that would have suffocated your destiny if left untouched. My child, listen deeply. There is a spiritual law at play. When God removes someone, it is because their season has expired, and their energy no longer matches the path you are called to walk. You are stepping into a higher level of purpose, and not everyone can survive where you are going. God says, this separation hurts because your heart is kind, but the future I am building requires courage. My beloved, the Spirit says, stay. Do not rush away, heaven is not finished speaking. You have reached the part of the message where the meaning deepens, where understanding grows roots, where truth becomes unshakable. Someone close to you has been wrestling silently, carrying thoughts they did not share, preparing to step out long before your heart was ready to let go. But heaven saw, and heaven intervened to keep your spirit from being wounded beyond repair. My precious soul, hear this next part with strength. Their leaving does not diminish your worth, it reveals it. God says, you were never meant to chase what I am releasing, you were never meant to beg for what I am removing. You are chosen, you are valued, you are called into a destiny overflowing with promise. One person's exit cannot change the chapters heaven has already written for your life. My child, breathe slowly, feel the steadiness returning to your spirit. Heaven whispers, you are not losing your future, you are stepping into it. The silence you feel from them is not rejection, it is redirection. The distance you sensed was not a punishment, it was a sign. The heaviness you carried was not confusion, it was heaven preparing you to let go. My beloved, Archangel Michael says, you are stronger than you believe. The nights you cried alone were not wasted nights. The longing you felt was not meaningless. The ache in your chest was not ignored. Heaven stood beside you through every moment, holding you together when you thought you were falling apart. And now heaven holds you again, not in sorrow but in transition. My dear one, watch carefully now, for heaven is unveiling the next piece of revelation. God says, what leaves makes room for what is coming. Something new approaches, something aligned, something healthy, something divine. A blessing that would have been delayed if the wrong person remained in your inner circle. Heaven is clearing the ground for connections that carry purpose, not confusion, love that heals, not drains, relationships that build, not break. My beloved soul, something inside you may whisper, but why this way? And heaven answers with gentle firmness, because you would not have released them on your own. You loved from your heart, and heaven honors that. But sometimes love becomes a chain when the season has ended. God breaks what you would never break, so you can rise where you were never meant to stay. My child, hear this next truth. Your destiny cannot be held hostage by someone who is not meant to stay. You are stepping into alignment, into clarity, into blessing. The storm you feel right now is not destruction, it is construction. Heaven is rebuilding your life on a stronger foundation, free from hidden motives and unspoken truths. My beloved, look ahead now, not back. Because the place that once felt like the site of your greatest heartbreak, is about to become the ground where your greatest miracle grows. The void they leave behind is not emptiness, it is sacred soil, being prepared for something extraordinary. My child, stay connected to this place of light. Here you remember truth, here you remain awakened, here you hear the voice of heaven guiding you when your heart feels unsteady. You are not walking into darkness, you are walking into the brightest chapter of your story. And heaven whispers one last thing for now. Do not fear who leaves, fear only missing what I am sending next. My beloved child, lean in even closer now. Because heaven is not finished pouring revelation into your spirit. What you feel rising inside your chest is not fear, it is awakening. This message is unfolding like the pages of a divine book, written long before you breathed your first breath. And heaven says, do not take this lightly, for what comes next is the turning of a lifetime. The shift you are standing in is not small, it is seismic. You are stepping into a moment that will echo across your future. My precious one, Archangel Michael whispers, you have cried enough. You have questioned enough. Now comes clarity. The pain that tried to cloud your vision is lifting. The fog that made you doubt yourself is dissolving. You are beginning to see what heaven has been trying to show you for months. This departure was scheduled, not accidental. Heaven protected you quietly long before you understood the threat. God says, I shielded you from what you could not see, even while you held on to what was already slipping from your hands. My child, listen deeper. This is not just the end of a chapter, this is the end of a cycle. A cycle of exhaustion, of repeating patterns, of holding on to people who were never meant to carry your future. Heaven says, you are stepping out of emotional captivity. What once drained you will no longer have access to your spirit. What once confused you will no longer cloud your vision. You are being lifted out of the spiritual weight you did not realize you were carrying. My beloved soul, heaven speaks again with thunderous softness. You are chosen for a path that requires unburdened shoulders. That is why this person could not remain. Their season with you was limited, their role was temporary. If they stayed, your wings would stay folded. If they stayed, your faith would stay small. God says, I am freeing your future from the limitations their presence created. My precious one, do not confuse release with rejection. Heaven does not remove what is meant to remain. And heaven does not force what is meant to walk away. Their leaving is not your failure, it is your protection. Archangel Michael says, some doors must close quietly, so that louder blessings can enter. You may not see it yet, but your soul already knows this shift is necessary. My child, feel the energy around you shifting. Heaven is rearranging the very atmosphere of your life. The emotional pressure around your heart is loosening. The heaviness you carried for too long is lifting. God says, this is not coincidence, this is intervention. I am clearing space inside you for joy you have not tasted in years. My beloved, heaven urges you, stay alert. Signs will begin to multiply, numbers repeating, names resurfacing, dreams returning, unexpected thoughts tugging at your spirit. These signs are not random. They are heavenly messages, guiding your steps toward the blessings being prepared. The same way heaven warned you about the departure, heaven will now guide you toward the arrival. My dear one, do not underestimate what is coming next. The blessing approaching your life does not walk with hesitation, it runs toward you. God says, what you lost in sorrow, you will gain in abundance. Do not fear the empty spaces inside you. Those spaces are not scars, they are open soil. Soil ready for new relationships, new opportunities, new purpose, new joy. My precious soul, heaven declares, do not collapse under the weight of this goodbye. You were not built to break, you were built to rise. Every tear you cried watered the ground where your next miracle will grow. Every night you felt alone strengthened the roots of your resilience. And every day you questioned your worth, heaven was whispering, you are more valuable than you realize. My child, Archangel Michael stands guard around you now, his wings creating a shield no darkness can penetrate. He says, you will not fall apart, you will not be destroyed, you will not remain in pain. This moment, as heavy as it feels, is preparing you for restoration so complete that even you will not recognize the person you become. My beloved, heaven now reveals the deeper truth. Everything leaving your life is making space for what has been waiting to enter. Someone aligned with your destiny, someone who carries peace not confusion, someone who reflects love not drains it, someone built to walk beside you not walk away from you. God says, what is coming will heal what was broken, what is coming will honor what was ignored, what is coming will love what was taken for granted. My child, do not rush past this moment. Do not escape the stillness. Heaven says, stay here, for revelation is still unfolding. The pain you feel is the tearing of old roots being pulled from the ground. But new roots, stronger, deeper, healthier, are being planted even now. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer wonder if you belong, you will know you do. My beloved one, hear this final truth for now. Your story is not ending, your story is beginning. The leaving is not loss, it is liberation. The silence is not emptiness, it is preparation. The tears are not weakness, they are cleansing. And the path ahead is not dark, it is glowing with the light of what heaven has already prepared for you. Stay close, stay listening, stay ready. Heaven is not done speaking. When they turn away, heaven turns toward you with a force that nothing on earth can compete with. My beloved child, do not let your heart collapse under the pressure of this moment. What feels like abandonment is actually the sound of chains breaking. What feels like loss is the sound of destiny shifting. Heaven says, you are not standing in the ruins of your life, you are standing at the doorway of your becoming. The shaking you feel is not the end, it is the beginning of your rise. My precious one, Archangel Michael steps forward with a presence so fierce that even the shadows around you tremble. He declares, do not bow your head, do not surrender to despair, lift your spirit, lift your eyes. This departure is not the collapse of your story, it is the clearing of your pathway. You were never meant to carry the weight of someone who could not walk beside you. You were never meant to anchor your soul to someone whose story ended before yours truly began. Their leaving is heaven's mercy disguised as heartbreak. My child, listen very closely. God says, you prayed dangerous prayers. You asked me to protect your destiny, you asked me to remove what was blocking your blessing, you asked me to break every chain. And now I am answering. But answers do not always come wrapped in comfort, sometimes they come wrapped in separation, wrapped in silence, wrapped in sudden endings. Yet every ending is a doorway I open with intention. My beloved, heaven urges you. Do not misinterpret this shaking. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. The very ground shifting beneath your feet is shifting you onto the path meant for your breakthrough. You may not see it yet, but heaven sees beyond your tears, heaven sees beyond your heartbreak, heaven sees beyond the moment your soul is struggling to understand. God says, I am not subtracting, I am multiplying. Precious soul, Archangel Michael whispers with a voice that feels like warm fire. You have been sensing this for a long time. You felt the distance, you sensed the shift, you noticed the silence between sentences, the heaviness behind their smile. Heaven was preparing you gently, softening the impact long before the moment arrived. This is not sudden. This is not accidental. This is revelation arriving right on time. My child, heaven reveals this powerful truth. The absence of the wrong person opens the space for the right one. Someone aligned with your purpose, someone who brings peace not confusion, someone who lifts not drains, someone who guards your heart not wounds it. Their departure clears the spiritual doorway, and heaven will not leave it empty. God says, what I release next will be worth every tear you cried. My beloved, breathe in this next truth deeply. You are not losing your destiny, you are stepping into it. The pain you feel now is temporary, but the blessing coming toward you is permanent. The heaviness you hold today will be replaced by joy that overflows. God says, I am the God of restoration. I rebuild stronger than before, I repair deeper than before, I restore greater than before. My precious heart, do not allow sorrow to trick you into believing you are alone. You are surrounded right now, in this very moment, by angels strengthening you from the inside out. When you cannot see a way forward, they are creating one. When you cannot lift your spirit, they are lifting it for you. Heaven is working even when you feel still, silent, or overwhelmed. My child, listen, for this next revelation carries weight. God says, their leaving exposes truth you would never have seen if they stayed. Some people hide behind closeness, some hide behind conversation, some hide behind the comfort of your loyalty. But absence reveals what presence hides. And I, the Lord, refuse to let hidden things hold you hostage any longer. My beloved one, heaven continues. Your elevation required separation. Not everyone gets to stay as you rise. Not everyone gets to walk into the future you are being prepared for. Not everyone has the capacity to hold the blessings heaven is ready to release over you. Their leaving is the sign that your next season has been activated. My precious soul, feel this. You are not collapsing, you are ascending. The weight that pressed you down is lifting. The fog that clouded your vision is clearing. The sadness trying to drown you is losing its hold. Heaven says, you are stepping into clarity, you are stepping into strength, you are stepping into identity. My child, Archangel Michael speaks again, louder this time. Do not chase what heaven is removing. Release the grasp, release the ache, release the questions. Let the chapter close. For the next one cannot open until your hands are empty. Heaven is not trying to break you, it is trying to free you. My beloved, God says, hold steady. What comes next is sudden. Sudden clarity, sudden peace, sudden opportunity, sudden breakthrough, sudden blessing. The shaking was the warning, the leaving was the sign, the blessing is the promise. My child, hear this final truth for now. You are not being separated from love, you are being separated from what was limiting it. What is coming carries purity, what is coming carries purpose, what is coming carries destiny. Stay close. Heaven is not done speaking. You are stronger than your sorrow, stronger than the storm that surrounds you, stronger than the weight that has been pressing against your chest. My beloved child, heaven urges you now to lift your head, for what is happening is not the collapse of your destiny, it is the cleansing of it. The shaking you feel is not meant to crush you, it is meant to strip away what could not survive in the place you are going. God says, child, do not misread this moment, you are not breaking, you are becoming. My precious one, heaven draws even closer. A holy stillness settles around your spirit, as God whispers. The pain you feel is the doorway I am using to pull you into your next season. You see only the loss, but heaven sees the liberation. You see what is leaving, but heaven sees what is arriving. You see the emptiness, but heaven sees the capacity being created inside you. God says, do not cling to what cannot remain, release it so I can place in your hands what has been waiting in mine. My dear child, Archangel Michael speaks with a voice that carries the strength of 1,000 lifetimes. You have not been abandoned, you have been preserved. The separation happening now is not a punishment, it is a rescue. You do not know the wounds they carried, but heaven knows. You do not know the storms waiting ahead on their path, but heaven sees. God says, I will not let you be pulled into a destiny that was never yours. My beloved, listen carefully. This is the part your spirit has been waiting for. Heaven reveals, the one leaving was not meant to walk beside you into the future I am preparing. They carried weights that would have slowed you, they carried storms that would have drowned you, they carried confusion that would have dimmed your light. God says, I am removing what would have broken you, so you may rise into what I have chosen for you. My child, the Spirit presses your heart gently yet firmly. Do not mourn what is meant to move. There is a divine reason you are hearing this now, in this exact moment. Heaven scheduled this revelation to reach you before sorrow swallowed your hope. You are not supposed to crumble, you are supposed to understand. God says, I allowed you to feel the distance before the departure, so your heart would not shatter under the weight of the letting go. My precious soul, Archangel Michael steps closer, and places a shield of light around you. You will not fall apart, he declares. You will not be consumed by grief, you will not drown in what is leaving you. Heaven is lifting you even now, raising your spirit above the storm you thought would destroy you. You are being strengthened in ways you cannot yet see, you are being shaped into someone even your past cannot recognize. My beloved child, God says, look at me, not at what is slipping away. The person leaving does not hold your future, they never did. They were a chapter, not the book, they were a moment, not your lifetime, they were a lesson, not your destiny. God says, your story is written by my hand alone, and no departure can erase what I have already declared over you. My child, heaven reveals a secret. Sometimes the greatest blessings wear the disguise of heartbreak. You think you are losing something irreplaceable, but heaven knows you are being freed for something unimaginable. You think your heart is breaking, but heaven knows your spirit is expanding. You think your world is ending, but heaven knows your purpose is beginning. My dear one, the Spirit whispers with urgency. Stay close now, do not scroll away, do not pull back. The revelation unfolding here is not finished. You asked for truth, heaven is giving it to you. You asked for direction, heaven is guiding you. You asked for confirmation, this is it. God says, your spirit is trembling because it recognizes my voice. My beloved soul, Archangel Michael's voice softens. You are stepping into a new identity. The sorrow you feel now will become the strength that carries you. The silence you fear now will become the space where God speaks louder than ever. The emptiness you dread will become the canvas on which heaven paints your miracle. My child, listen to this next truth. God says, the one leaving you carries a destiny that is not tied to yours. Their path grows heavier, yours grows higher. Their season is shifting, your season is opening. Their story is turning a page, your story is beginning a chapter heaven has been preparing for years. Do not follow where they go, God says, follow where I lead. My precious one, you must take this deeply into your spirit. Their absence will not define you, my presence will. You are not losing stability, you are gaining clarity. You are not losing love, you are learning what true love looks like. You are not losing your future, you are stepping into the one heaven designed without interruption. My beloved, heaven concludes with this final revelation for now. You are stepping out of sorrow and into destiny. The shaking was necessary, the leaving was intentional, the pain was temporary. But the blessing, O child, the blessing being prepared is eternal, unstoppable, overflowing. God says, remain here, stay connected, listen for my next word. Your miracle is closer than your fear, closer than your tears, closer than your breath. And heaven whispers, your rise begins now. Release them with grace, my child, for clinging to what heaven is removing, will only drain the strength you need for the blessing that is rising. Heaven leans closer now, wrapping your spirit in a warmth you cannot describe. And God whispers, what you release in obedience, I will replace in abundance. This moment is not about loss, it is about liberation. It is not about what leaves, it is about what enters the moment that space is made. You are not watching your life fall apart, you are watching divine order take shape. My beloved, do not mistake your trembling for weakness. That trembling is transformation, that shaking in your chest is heaven rearranging the pieces of your life. God says, what feels like unraveling is actually me reweaving your future with threads of destiny you cannot yet see. You feel the ache of goodbye, but heaven feels the excitement of what is coming. You see empty space, but heaven sees a doorway. And that doorway opens only when you stop resisting what must leave. My child, Archangel Michael stands beside you, with a shield of light so bright it pushes away every whisper of abandonment. He declares, do not let fear interpret this moment. Fear lies, fear exaggerates, fear tells you the story is ending. But heaven tells you a new chapter is beginning. The pain you feel now is not a sign of divine absence, it is a sign of divine movement. Something is shifting, something is clearing, something is aligning. And heaven refuses to let you miss it. Beloved soul, God says, listen carefully for what I reveal next carries weight. The person leaving was not meant to walk into the future you prayed for. They would have slowed you, they would have misunderstood you, they would have clipped your wings without meaning to. And because I have chosen you for greater things, I could not allow them to stand in a place they were not designed to stand. Their departure is not the collapse of your destiny, it is the confirmation of it. My beloved, feel the stillness around you now. That is heaven settling your spirit so you can hear the truth clearly. God says, you were not created to chase what is running from you. You were created to walk boldly toward what is calling you. And what calls you now is bigger than heartbreak, bigger than confusion, bigger than the ache of letting go. Heaven is calling you into a season where purpose will replace pain, and clarity will replace chaos. Child of light, Archangel Michael whispers again. Do not underestimate what you will become on the other side of this. Your strength will grow, your discernment will sharpen, your heart will become wiser than it has ever been. And the space that heartbreak creates will become the very place where heaven plants your next miracle. You may not see the seeds right now, but heaven is sowing them while you breathe. My child, God says, wait here, do not rush. For revelation unfolds like dawn, it comes slowly, then suddenly. And this revelation is for you. The one who leaves forever is not a threat to your future. They are a marker in time, signaling the moment your life begins to accelerate. You prayed for breakthrough, you prayed for change, you prayed for elevation. And heaven answers those prayers with movement, even when that movement feels painful. Beloved, heaven wants you to understand this. The absence that hurts today will become the atmosphere where blessings grow tomorrow. You are not stepping into loneliness, you are stepping into divine company. You are not stepping into emptiness, you are stepping into expansion. And the silence you fear will soon become the space where God speaks louder than he ever has before. My beloved child, Archangel Michael stands firm and declares, your rise will confuse the ones who expected your collapse. For heaven is not done, heaven is not silent, heaven is not leaving you to grieve alone. The angels surround you even now, strengthening your spine, healing your chest, restoring your breath. You were never meant to walk through this moment without divine support. God says, Do you feel the stirring inside you? That is your spirit recognizing that this shift is not death, it is birth. The old season is ending, yes, but the new one is already unfolding. Doors are forming, opportunities are aligning, people are being moved into position. What is coming is not small, not temporary, not fragile. It is heaven sent, and sealed with divine timing. My child, do not resist. Do not run. Do not numb yourself. Heaven urges you to stay awake, stay aware, stay ready. For the blessing written for you is approaching like a rising tide, slow at first, then unstoppable. God says, your tears are temporary. Your testimony will be permanent. Beloved, hear this final truth in this moment. You are not losing a person, you are gaining a destiny. And destiny will always outweigh heartbreak, always. Heaven whispers. Move forward, what is coming is greater than what is leaving. My child, feel this truth settling into your spirit right now. Your story is not collapsing, it is unfolding. What felt like the end, was only the dimming of an old chapter so a brighter one could rise. God says, do not misread this moment. What left was never meant to carry the weight of your destiny. What stayed is what will build it. You are stepping into a version of yourself that pain could not destroy, and loss could not silence. Beloved, there is a stirring around you that even you cannot explain. That is heaven arranging what your heart has prayed for in secret. Archangel Michael whispers, you will soon look back and see why this departure was necessary. The very thing that wounded you is the doorway that frees you. Do not fear what is gone, fear nothing. For divine alignment always begins with separation. Listen carefully now, God says, I am not taking from you. I am positioning you. And positioning often feels like shaking, shifting, and surrendering. You asked for breakthrough, and heaven is delivering it in the only form that could move you into your promise. Do not resist the shift, do not mourn what I am replacing. Stand still and watch how I turn this loss into leverage. My beloved, you are closer than you think to the miracle you stopped believing in. The air around your destiny is thundering with movement. Signs will intensify, clarity will sharpen, and peace will blanket you in moments where anxiety once lived. Heaven says, lift your head. For the page is turning, and the next line of your story carries more glory than your past ever held. Child of light, hold this moment carefully. Because what is coming is greater than anything that has left.